Have you wondered what politicians do all day? To be honest, before I really became interested in Nigerian politics, I thought all politicians did here was chop women, chop houses, chop money, chop cars. I'm serious. I thought that was it. That was the extent of their actual job. I didn't understand how Nigeria was even operating. I also thought many of the people were disconnected from the general population and were generally uncaring. I thought politicians didn't even recognize citizens and, to be honest, exist in a completely different reality or bubble. It's almost like I thought they were looking down on us with contempt. I thought they didn't want to interact with Nigerians. I even thought they made it a challenge to get in contact with them. I also felt a little bit hopeless, like millions of Nigerians. Even when I thought about politicians, it would just make me upset. Until I had this crazy thought. What do politicians do? I felt 99% of all politicians in this country were failing, but I didn't even understand their job role. What is their actual job? The local elections are happening in Lagos soon. And what roles do local representatives fill, and what is their legacy? What is their to-do list? I also realized I never met a politician before, not really. I never talked to one or interacted with anybody who called themselves that. Have you ever met a politician in real life? Think about it and comment below about your good or bad experience meeting that politician in real life. I also realized that everything I believed was a commonly shared belief by people around me. It wasn't my belief because I never met a politician before. I only would hear crazy things on the radio. I would read newspapers about outrageous stealing of public funds and just assumed every single politician was like that. So I went out of my way to challenge my views. So in 2023, as many of you know, we had the election. The country was very exciting time. So I was like swept up and I decided to start going to political events. My first big event was a PDP convention. Then I went to obedient rallies, I went to protests, I went to APC rallies. I started listening to Twitter space discussions, but most importantly, I started meeting politicians. I started observing them. Then last year, in 2024, I continued. I started meeting more and more politicians in different political parties, and I started softening my views. I started meeting people who were trying. So many people are trying. I started meeting human rights attorneys that work alongside politicians. I started meeting local representatives, people who weren't politicians but work alongside politicians who are fighting with their whole spirit into making positive changes for Nigerians. I started hearing the history behind certain people and the things they've done. And that's when I realized Nigerian politicians have a communication problem. Many do not communicate well with the public. Some communicate well with their constituents. Constituents are people in an area who elect you into office. But if you look at social media, they're issuing press releases about their work on IG. A press release is a block of words sent to newspapers or magazines. Or if you go on their social media, they're talking about they're donating trailers of rice or paying WIAC fees for students. But they're not talking about their job and what they've done for Nigerian people with their job. Nigeria is an atmosphere of distrust, and we distrust politicians more than anyone else. Politicians need to do a better job in communicating, and that's when it hit me. That's what I want to do in politics. I want to do the better job in communicating. But first, I want to educate myself on the political system because I wasn't born or raised in Nigeria. I'm excited about fixing this problem, but after, of course, I educate myself, I want you guys to join me in this journey. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Bye now.